Welcome to SPLA Man Presents. This is SPLA Man. Back to school time. Well, at least here in the United States. My kids have gone back for a couple weeks now. And I noticed my son one time said, "Dad, I can't wait to get older. That way I never have to take a test again or study again." I said, "I hate to break the news to you, but you're always going to learn. There's always going to be new challenges. Just look what your dad does for a living around licensing." And he kind of rolled his eyes and moved on. That's what a lot of people do when they talk about licensing. But you know what's interesting is I talk to customers all the time around not just licensing, but also how they keep track of licensing inside their data center. And a lot of times they'll say, "Hey, I deployed X, Y, and Z tool. It tracks everything for me." And although that may be true when it comes to end customer licensing, well, what about what's inside your data center around the shared offerings? Like, it's very difficult to track that if you're deployed X, Y, and Z tool, because maybe they specialize in just on-premise deployments only, or maybe they specialize in Azure deployments only. But where Octopus comes in is we track not just multi-tenant environments, but also some of those end customer deployments as well. When it comes to data center licensing, again, it's not just SPLA and it's just not, end customer licensing. When Microsoft introduced that flexible virtualization benefit, or even the CSP hoster program, that changes the landscape entirely, right? Like, it's just not one program over the other, and you really have to understand these different scenarios and environments that customers may want from you. Like, they just know, "Hey, I own this license. I want you to deploy it for me." They don't care about compliancy until it's too late. Kind of like my son with a math test. Anyways, guys, I thought today that I'd just touch on how critical it is not just to think in a small box or silo yourself out from different licensing programs. It's really about tracking everything inside your data center, especially when it comes to shared environments. It's very difficult to track. And I think what separates Octopus from other competitors is we know the SPLA program. And SPLA is so, small, right? Like, when I say small, I mean it's only for a segment of the population in the IT industry. You have to host the software, and not everybody hosts, but it's very important to be able to track that. Or let's say a customer comes to you and says, "I want to deploy in AWS, and I'm going to use my own SPLA to host out of AWS." Well, guess what? In the year 2025, you're no longer going to be able to do that. So it's just not keeping track of licenses inside your own data center or even your customer's data center, but it's tracking everything, even like a listed provider's data center. So if you guys have questions on all of this, there's so many changes going on right now that you really have to stay on top of it. And I think that's what separates Octopus from some of these other competitors out there, or maybe software asset management tool providers out there, is we're not just focused on one area. We really want to focus in on the data center environments in its entirety. So guys, I know that's a long-winded answer. Long video today, but I just thought it's really important to understand the different ways that you should think about licensing. And so going back to my son's point, he goes, "Dad, I can't wait to get older so I no longer have to study." You should read the Spur. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today. Join our community at community.octopus.cloud, where we kind of discuss a lot of these matters in its entirety and kind of dive a little deeper into this. Anyway, have a great day, guys, and I look forward to our next video. Talk to you soon.